Are we good? We're gonna say we're good. Lighting is super weird in here, but it's the best we've got, and it might be what I have to use all semester. This is to say I'm back at school, and I'm back in New York, and I'm so happy about it. So the day after I filmed my last video, I went to Nicaragua for a week. NYU, which is the university I attend, has an amazing program called Alternative Breaks, where you basically spend a semester learning about a social issue, and then during either winter or spring break, you take a trip and you do a service project that has something to do with the social issue you learned about. So my group worked with the organization Outreach 360 in Jinotega, Nicaragua. We taught English for a week to kids between like 7 and 13. It's technically summer camp because it's summer in Nicaragua, but we were still teaching and it was amazing. Outreach 360 makes sure their volunteers are familiar with the context in which they're working, so we learned about Nicaragua's educational system and social order. All through the week there were culture and history talks, and we visited a lot of coffee plantations because coffee is Nicaragua's biggest export. I don't drink coffee, but it was exciting for some of my team members. On top of that, our NYU Alternative Breaks leaders kept us on our toes. We had reflection every night and talked about social issues like race or economic status. Conversations were really heavy and it was a weird way to end every day, but they were also really impactful and I felt like we accomplished a lot. All in all, I was super impressed both with NYU Alternative Breaks and with Outreach 360. Volunteering to me a lot of the time feels like a one and done thing, like people go volunteer on Thanksgiving and then they feel good about themselves and then they go home. To me, this was a really good example of how service should be done, with knowledge of the greater context in which you're working and acknowledgement of the fact that you are in someone else's home court and without the whole savior complex thing. The whole thing was also kind of exhausting, having these weighty ideas on my mind and on the mind of my entire team, who at the beginning of the week I didn't even know. They're awesome, by the way. I'm so glad after it was over I had a week to just process it all before school started. For the first couple days I had a really difficult time talking about it, and when I did it was just this floodgate of words. But now I am back in the city and school has started, and we're gonna change gears and talk about that despite Charlotte Lou's advice.
Save it for next time. Too many subjects in one video and it feels unfocused.
I'll admit, despite everything I just said, I spent the entire week in Nicaragua aching for New York. I love it here so much. I got back and had nothing to do for a week except just be, which was really nice, but I'm very glad to be back on school and schedule. For me, the hardest thing about break is having nothing to do, like I'm tied to nothing on this earth. I have all these obligations now. I have school and my dance team and violin and my social life. Kind of, it feels weird to say that I enjoy obligations, but it gives me something to do, and they're all obligations that I chose to take part in and I'm very, very glad to have in my life. And soon I'm gonna start an internship. I interned at like my dream place today, and I'm not gonna tell you where. If I get it, I'll tell you where. I was just so happy to have been there though. I'm fangirling so hard. I hope I get it. I want it. I want it so bad. It seemed hopeful. I'm hoping. Right, school, obligations. I'm glad to be, now I'm just stuck on this internship that I want so badly. So, I shouldn't have thought about it. I really like having a schedule, not because I like things meticulously planned, although I do meticulously plan things, but because it means I have a lot of places to be and I have to plan my day, and it's just, like I said, I have things now tying me to this life, which is really nice. I like this life. I'd like to be tied to it. Hitched. Married. Okay, I have things to do and people to meet. I'm so grateful to be alive. I remember 2 things that are important to my life right now that I didn't say, but we'll get to them later. I have lots of time. I'll see you. Love you, world.